finishing with a flourish. The attempt was that Hardik Pandya went for the glory shot. The ball was in the slot, but India ending with a wicket of the final delivery. But that doesn't mean that they don't have a good total on the board. 194 is what the Indian team, after having chosen to bat first, have finished with. There was
193. The target is 194.
193.
Thanks to a 25 ball 50 from Shivam Dube,
Yes.
who just tore the Dutch bowlers apart, aided by a decent cameo from Hardik Pandya. After a very, you may say, sluggish start, not many people scoring in the range of 150 plus, 160 plus, slow to begin with, but accelerated towards the fag end by Dube and his power hitting. Fantastic stuff indeed. And 193, well, the Dutch have themselves to blame. They dropped Suryakumar Yadav on one occasion. Then the catching was good, barring that one particular instance. But Van Beek not in form at all in this T20 World Cup for the Netherlands. He was the guy, remember, who leaked that 24 runs in the Pakistan game.
Yeah, but I think the catch was also dropped off his bowling.
Yes, by Max O'Dowd.
Yeah.
And that's why the Dutch will only have themselves to blame for conceding so many runs in the back end, because they could have restricted India to 160, 170, but yeah, I think it's 20
we
runs.
Talk about including the fact that Suryakumar Yadav, having gotten a reprieve, manages a strike rate only of 121, 34 of 28 for Suryakumar Yadav. This is when he got that added lifeline as well.
Yeah.
First, let's talk about the pitch. Was this not the kind of belter we're used to seeing at the Narendra Modi Stadium, or was this a good start from the Dutch that we saw, and there was a rebuilding job to be done later on by the Indian middle order batters?
Looking at Ahmedabad, I would have thought that India would have gotten much more than they did, because it did seem like a good batting pitch. But then I'm also looking at certain deliveries. As soon as the bowlers, especially fast bowlers using cutters, it was tough to clear them. It's kind of giving me a feel that if you can pull your pace back a bit, it will not be as easy. So with that in mind, I think 193, and again, I'm not going to look at it because it's Netherlands. I think against most team on a pitch, which I used to think is a belter, but I just get a feeling that it's not as much of a belter as I thought it would be. So 190, 200 sort of a par total against a good team. Versus Netherlands, I think you're more than comfortable with 193. Had this been some other team, then also I would have said decent total, but not guaranteed of a win, decent total. So with that, I think, yeah, you can, if I had to nitpick, I might say that, okay, India against a team bowling attack like this could have gotten a bit more. But again, that would be nitpicking. The only worry that I have at the moment is Abhishek Sharma.
3 ducks on the trot. I mean, now he's level with Ashish Nehra for the most ducks in a T20 World Cup. 3. So, I don't know what's happened. I mean, look at the mode of dismissals. One, he tried to clear extra car. He fell. The trap was perfectly set there. Against Pakistan, fielder was in that particular position and mid-on. He holed out to that fielder. Here, I think he just tried a wild hoik. Third ball. It was cleaned up. So, 1, 4, 3. These are the number of deliveries he's lasted. 8 deliveries. 3 matches. 0 runs for Abhishek Sharma, and I think today the pressure got to him because it was skidding straight on. He didn't need that kind of a shot.
You haven't, said this about Abhishek Sharma in his short T20 career, but I think for the first time he's looking a bit scrambled in his head. You thought that he had done good to just curb his instinct a couple of days back against Pakistan, where he played those couple of dot balls and he was looking in the mood to just, bide his time and just see off the first over. Salman Ali Agha, credit to him as well. I think he bowled very tight lines for first over, gave away just 1 run, remember. But then played that shot off the last delivery. Today looked in that urgency, and it takes me to what I think Sunny Gavaskar had told us a couple of days back, again after that after that Pakistan match, where he said that the idea should be to look for that first single and just get the monkey off the back. At the moment, he's showing the sign of urgency. It's very clear, that again he looked calm at one point against Salman Ali Agha, then goes for a shot, felt like against the run of play India had given away the wicket. Today as well, it was just very, it signified that there is something wrong and he's just looking a little desperate at the moment.
It did look desperate because look at it, 3 balls, 4 balls, 1 ball. He's not even lasted 1 full over. That's the thing with Abhishek Sharma. And look, in 2025, at this T20 World Cup, even in 2025, he would have been the form of his life. But 8 innings, 5 ducks.
Yeah.
8 innings. So
These scores are like, they're emblematic of a tail ender, perhaps. 3 zeros. Talked about Ashish Nehra. I just hope he doesn't follow the route of the chief selector in terms of number of ducks.
No, that was test match.
That
Yeah,
was
it was test match.
7 ducks against Australia.
I know it was test match.
No, but I'm saying if there was a stage where, if you believe in law of averages, then you're hoping, okay, we might as well get done with that. His bad stretch here, because come the Super 8s, you'll need a firing Abhishek. I think that is something that you'd need. But at the moment, I think you can avoid stressing too much on that, because overall your team has been doing well as such. Ishan didn't have a good game today, but otherwise he's done that. Tilak has been chipping in. Sky came in to this World Cup with form, and then the first game, of course, has shown you. But Shivam Dube, now 2 games you've seen him really step up. So yeah, overall your Rinku is doing that job. Towards the end comes wax it, get the job that you wanted him to do. By the way, we were also critical of him that when he's going to do it now 2 matches in a row.
Yeah.
Just gets barely 3, 4, 5 deliveries. But I think that's what he'll have to do. Yeah.
So what else do you ask for? 3 balls he's faced. He smacked a 6 in that. You can't expect a 6 of every delivery or a boundary of every delivery. The other day was what? 11 or 12?
11 of 4.
11 of 4. That's about fine. He's finished with the strike rate of 200. You will never see great averages. You will never see great numbers for anyone batting as low as 7, 8. It's an ugly job to be doing. You're being asked to just finish with a bang, play a couple of deliveries. We give that courtesy to top order batters. Take your time, couple of deliveries, get warmed up, gauge the bowler, gauge the pitch, gauge the circumstance. Nothing. That's a very hard job. Go see the ball, whack it, come back. That's all that you've got to do.
The only thing, overall, as I'd say, this is again an inconsequential match. India needed to experiment on a few things. I hope they give Washington Sundar a few overs so we can see what is it that he gets, because matches coming up like South Africa where you'll have left-hander, so maybe you might think of even playing another off-spinner. That could be the thing. But I think the only other thing that I'm not 100% happy is about that your batting has not looked as free-flowing as it had looked for the last year and a half, where we were saying this batting lineup will decimate the rest of the world. That hasn't happened. They've done enough. And I think today as well, they've done enough to get another win and go through to the Super 8s undefeated. But we're still to see that explosive Indian batting lineup that the whole world was looking at, that what is this team doing? Maybe it's down to, I can't be down to one person in Abhishek, but overall everyone else hasn't really come to the party that you expect.
The occasion then? What else do you blame?
Must be the conditions.
Conditions aren't as good as you.
No, but you played those 5 matches against New Zealand in the evening.
Different
as well.
conditions.
You have a Shivam Dube who gets you at almost a 220 strike rate, So
see, again, the black soil in Ahmedabad might probably sluggish start. It becomes easier to bat on as the game progresses.
One thing I must say about the Ahmedabad surface, we've seen a few matches, especially South Africa, because they've played so many matches over here. Day wickets have looked better. Today, there was a bit of tackiness to begin with, and that's why the spinners looked good in the power play. Wasn't quite the thing when you were looking at day games in Ahmedabad. So, with the ball just stopping a bit, not an awful lot, perhaps
it should be the other way around, actually.
It should be. It's counterintuitive what I'm saying right now, but I just don't know what else explains this, or maybe this is just something happening under the lights which makes little sense to me right now. But day wickets have looked the kind of belters we expect Ahmedabad to be.
That was the last day game that we had, the South Africa-Afghanistan one, which went into a double super over. So now you're going to see the night games will go by the same trajectory. Difficult to start off with, but then it becomes a belter as the game progresses. So interesting choice as to what you'll do in the Super 8s against far more established opponents. This is no disrespect to the Netherlands. They have put on some good performances in the past as well. But a total of 194 that they have to chase under a very good bowling attack.
But against, because you're playing South Africa in a couple of days' time here only, You think with the surface, the little proof that we have of 20 overs, it's a competitive, winning, par. What kind of total is this?
No, that's what I said. I think, right as I said at the start, I think against a team like Netherlands, you'll take it. But I think
In South Africa, it'll be 50.
It-
10, yeah, because
10
if
under
you're
par,
playing
it feels.
playing against no, see, it's not under par, and why I'm not saying under par, and that's what we're forgetting. This Indian bowling lineup is very good.
Very good, yes.
It's a very good bowling lineup. So even if you're playing a top team, and if you think you've just got a par total, which this could be, there's still a good chance you win because your bowlers do the job for you. But on an occasion, that rare occasion where your bowlers have a off day, that's when you worry. But I would still like this batting. See, again, every part of the team has to do their job, right? We are relying on the bowlers to do their job, they should. But even batting on a pitch like Ahmedabad, you should be looking at about 220. You should be, especially against the Netherlands. You should have looked like that, but that's not been the case. Praneeth Datta.
Once again, Dube showed why he's a match winner. Was very disappointed that everyone, including Nikhil, ignored his contribution against Pakistan. He's not, along with Rinku's, what's the difference between 150 and 100? But did you negate his performance? I don't remember.
Nobody ignored it.
Yeah.
It's just that
Ishan's knock
that
was...
day, yeah, you will talk
Oh, the
about the
heck.
biggest star that there is. Ishan. Even Suryakumar Yadav's knock was very crucial in that Pakistan game.
Even
So was
Tilak's,
Dube
yeah.
and Rinku.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever little opportunity everyone got, but nobody's ever undermined him. In fact, we are quite big backers of Shivam Dube, and now that I'm talking about him, is he starting the innings for India with the ball?
No, it's Arshdeep.
Arshdeep.
Yeah. He had the ball in his hand, and I was wondering, but maybe because
Yeah. I mean,
you can start once you don't have a Bumrah or anyone, and you're just playing with Hardik like you did in Asia Cup.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Wicket first ball?
I
Just
think he
swinging
was
down
way
leg.
down. I
Just
think he was
swinging
also
down
way
leg.
the pitch also, I guess. Could be.
Sorry?
He had come way down the pitch
Yeah,
also.
well, I think it was
Impact
foolish
might have
delivery.
been,
Foolish.
Yeah.
I think it's going down leg, swinging a bit.
Could be. Praneeth Datta said, by the way, we are worried about Surya, especially Tilak, taking too much time, putting loads of pressure on Hardik, Dube, Rinku. Too much dependency on Ishan at the top.
See, but I'm just saying, Tilak, you remember that IPL season, he was really struggling to get going. He was retired, hurt on one
Yes,
game.
LSG game.
Yeah, they had to really pull him out.
Yeah.
I just hope he can get a bit of fluidity going. See, with Sky, that day with Pakistan, it worked, that sort of batting by Tilak.
But it won't work every
and
time.
Sky also did that. But in Sky's case, he can accelerate as well and change. I want to see a bit of acceleration from Tilak, just to know that ever since he's come back from the injury, is that his fluent best. Because some games, and especially because you're batting at 3, okay, the day your openers do well, it's fine. But there also you have to maintain the momentum. Openers don't do well, again you can't be going into a shell, you have to attack. So yeah, that's something that I'd like to see from Tilak. It was missing in that previous game as well. So.
He gave very good signs on his return in that match against the USA, which was a warm-up game, and the 4th February game, which was against the Proteas. But he's not been able to replicate that, unfortunately, in the main tournament. It looked like, he could hit the ball from the word go. But yeah, underwhelming. But also, in Pakistan's case, it was the need of the hour to be playing the way that he did. But you want some proof, that just that cushion is restored.
Yeah. Rajat Agarwal, top 3 lefties not working, need a right-hander. Another call for
I don't buy that theory.
a Sanju to come in.
Rajat, I mean, I don't think it's down to
Lefty,
all 3
righty.
being lefties.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. I'm not
See,
a firm believer of that.
The teams with the lefties have gotten a very new tactic in opening with a spinner. Except the USA game, Abhishek's fallen to spin on 2 occasions. Against Pakistan, he fell to Salman Agha.
Salman Ali,
Here he's fallen to Aryan Dutt. So who knows, maybe if Markram opens the bowling, that might be a target for them in the South
Akram's
Africa.
done power play bowling.
Yes, he has.
Okay, Jitu says the dropping of Sanju is based on one series, makes other players a bit worried of their spot. Big example is Tilak, he's playing for the spot. I don't agree with that. I don't think he's playing for his spot. I think he's had troubles in the past as well in terms of acceleration. Sometimes he's phenomenal. I think he comes in phases. I don't know whether it's a fair comparison, but I'm drawing a comparison with KL Rahul. That gets into phases, is outstanding, then gets into phases where he's in a bit of a hole and struggles to accelerate that pace. I think that's what happens with See, in a World Cup, you're never playing for a spot because you're playing the World Cup, you're playing for the trophy. Yes, that with it brings a lot of pressure anyway, playing for the trophy, but not necessarily playing for a spot.
Yep, indeed. Rahul, not Dravid. Now Abhishek is brand ambassador of Toyota with 3 zeros. One more, he'll be an ambassador of an Audi and gunning for the Olympic rings. By the way, nothing beats.
You're a car fan.
Yeah, nothing beats Surya's 3 golden ducks versus us was still played World Cup. Oh yes, 3 golden ducks. Never ever it will be replicated unless you fall for a golden duck 5 times.
Varun Parvatanani says, brought back memories of 19th November. Thank God for Dube to not. Was it like that?
No.
Different. Different.
Yeah.
And let's not.
JM says Nikhil downplays Sanju all the time. I mean, just to remind JM, I think he doesn't watch us very often. When everyone was calling for his head to be dropped, I was the one who said, give him a chance to play.
Yeah.
But JM may be a once in a while viewer, so he doesn't know what we discuss here regularly.
Ratnesh Gaur.
No, go start from the top, no? Abrar.
Abrar Kabir.
Says, what if Abhishek goes out for a duck in the next match also? Next match, after that also, from Sanju Lobby, as Sid called me out after the last match.
Okay, what if Abhishek hits
Called
a
him
50?
a lobbyist for Sanju.
I can't remember.
Okay.
But what if Abhishek scores a 50? What if he scores a 40? What if he
scores a duck, as he says?
Will you make a change in the middle of a Super 8 stage on the semi-final? Good luck, you can do it.
I'm not.
It's not in the rules that you cannot do it. You can.
You can. Why not?
But would you?
That depends where India are in the tournament. You're a bit of a soup. You might be forced to. If
he's gotten the Olympic rings,
2 more games, what do I do?
If he's got the Olympic rings, then definitely Sanju comes in.
Two more.
Not
Actually,
definitely. Nothing is definite. But you could think about it. Why not?
Yeah. 6 ducks on the trot. That won't happen.
It's not a question of ducks.
3 and 2.
I think if you get a poor performance, I think that's how you'll be judged. I'm not going to see someone. How does a duck differ from 6 or 7? Does not, right?
Doesn't.
That's also a poor performance. So.
It's sort of
single digits. Yeah.
I don't know if it should be amusing me, but I'm just looking at how the last couple of months have been. We've been talking about this team, heaping laurels and praise on them and what, but there's been a persistent issue as well. There was 2.5 months back, you were worried about Shubman, then you got worried about Samson, then you got worried about Surya.
That is the case with Indian cricket, no?
Always, yeah.
So how will it ever?
It's
Indian
that perfect
flawless?
time, that perfect
Even when you
patch.
won a World Cup, you still had worried, okay, Virat's form, this and you won a World Cup. So nothing will be perfect. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, that stuff of dreams is missing. That dream sort of few games where everyone is looking dominant and good. And
that doesn't matter. You had a dream tournament. No, you didn't win the trophy. 23.
So that also.
In 24 and 25, everybody chipped in parts. So that's how you won it. Yeah. Selvam Kandaraj saying, Tilak looks scratchy, not convincing. Can't have all left-hand top 3. Sanju in place of Tilak. Oh. Else teams will come with an easy plan like how Pak and Netherlands did, replace Tilak with Sanju.
You could look at that.
Tilak with Sanju.
Good look. I doubt that the Indian team will do it so suddenly with Tilak because he's still gotten runs. I know he's looking rusty, completely agree, and I mentioned that as well. But I don't think they'll look to make too many changes in the tournament.
You're winning, yeah. It's not as if you're losing. If you're losing, then you have to make changes. But you're not losing. So.
Yeah. Sunny Kadam says the stadium has bad vibes, believe it or not. He's talking about the final. But you won against Pakistan here.
Yeah, you did.
But then that people will say you will anyway win. Doesn't matter whichever stadium.
It's 8-0 in the ODI World Cup.
Yeah. Next, DJ Vibe says need to give credit to Netherlands bowlers and management for planning field placing in cutters. Yeah, and it seems like every team is doing that. Yeah,
it started off with the USA.
They also
had
great
such
plans.
good plans. They took 3 wickets of yours in the power play itself. You really needed Suryakumar Yadav to bail you out at that time.
Yeah. Yes. It's me. Tony makes a very good point. If any team starts with power play with 2 quality off spinners, India will be in big trouble with 3 left-handers on top, and that's exactly what Pakistan also tried to do to begin with.
Yeah, but Tilak held firm. Only Abhishek failed, and Ishant was blazing away.
But even today, credit to the way that these guys started.
Yeah, Aryan Dutt bowled brilliantly in the power play, and that's why South Africa, if they're taking note, Markram, he can come straight up on the power play.
They won't be Maharaj for sure at the start. Markram, yeah, you're looking at Markram.
And he bowls in the power play.
He does.
So
He does.
Interesting.
on
battle.
the same pitch.
Okay, we'll take your leave.
Yeah. Join us for the post-match.
That's why we'll have the long, detailed discussion. So look forward to your company then. We'll be on for an hour.
Yes, indeed.
At least.
At least.
Yeah.
Bye
Ciao.
bye.
Bye-bye. See you.